When I was shaving, I noticed a lump on my chest. Being an engineer, hey, you fix everything. Your car breaks down, you take it to the mechanic. And your body breaks down, you take it to the doctor. Hi, I'm Praveen Kadal. I'm from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm a technology consultant. I ended up in the United States with the idea that I'll be there for a couple of years, get my kids to see Disneyland and Universal Studios, and I'll be back. But that never happened. I was speaking to my wife on the phone and I said, hey, I see this lump. What do you think should I do? And she said, go and get it checked by a doctor. So I went to my PCP and he said, Brian, we keep getting these kind of lumps from time to time, nothing to worry about, but let's get it checked. And we got it checked. We did an ultrasound, we did a biopsy, and it turned out to be cancerous. So the plan was, Praveen, we got to get you operated and surgically remove the tumor. Once the tumor is removed, we're going to check if there has been spread around the tumor area, which is going to be in the lymph nodes. If there is any, we're going to surgically remove them as well. And once we get most of that stuff out, then we got to get you onto medication that is going to ensure that this doesn't come back again. If somebody were to look at me at that point, they would say, hey, this guy is pretty healthy. And I thought that the problem has been fixed, so it won't come back. And then exactly 1 year down the line, April of 2020, we saw a cyst on the surgical area. When I noticed that again in my checkups with the doctor, I showed it to him. He said, looks to be a sebaceous cyst. And when they sent it to the labs, what happened was, after a week, we got the results back, and the results said that there were traces of cancer there again. Towards June, July timeframe, by the end of July, I was done with the radiation, and I got a thumbs up saying that now everything's going to be okay. I was pretty confident that it won't come back again. I was still bothered by my growth and my comparisons with my peers, and wanting to get back into shape again, still enjoying that scotch, the weekend binge was still on. There was one day I remember I couldn't get up and walk at all. I told my wife, saying that I can't walk, I can't get up, something's wrong. She said, let's go to the doctor. And we called the doctor, and she said, Praveen, you got to go to the ER right away. Your right lung has collapsed. Then my wife drove me to the ER, and I got admitted there. And then they started scanning, and they did scans and x-rays on me. The scans showed that the cancer had spread not just to the lungs, but to the other parts of the body, to my lymph nodes, to my thoracic region, to my esophagus, and to my bones. And it was termed as a stage 4 metastatic cancer. And he said it's pretty serious. We cannot cure it right now in this stage. We can treat it though. He told me, friend, it's anywhere between 3 to 6 months, is what you're looking at. And that was like a huge shock. By then I was so casual about my health. But when that happened, I burst out crying. My wife was there with me. And then she came and she hugged me and she said, Praveen, what are you doing? You're acting as if you're already dead. This is not it. If God wanted you dead, you would be dead any which ways. If you're here, that counts for something. And I liked what she said. It made sense, but I didn't know what to do about it. The doctor's going to do her job, and she's going to tell me to take some medications and treatment. But what can I do? How can I contribute? My friend came in the morning to meet me, my neighbor. He said, Praveen, I heard about you going through this. I heard about your prognosis, and I'm sorry. I wish I can be of help. I had this book in my library. It is just sitting around, maybe it is of some help to you. And the book was about fighting cancer through the natural ways. There were 380 techniques that one can implement. I had something to do then. I had the book, and I did believe what my wife had said, that maybe there's something I can do about this. Why should I just give up? Our bodies can auto-heal themselves. You got to give it natural inputs, and the only 3 inputs that you can think of is solids, that is food, liquids, and air. These are the 3 inputs that actually go into your body. So one thing that struck me was 100,000 years back, how were people actually surviving? What were they eating? What were they doing? We used to only eat when we felt hungry. And when we felt hungry, we used to go seeking food. And the first thing that we looked for were fruits. If we didn't find fruits, we used to probably look for vegetables. And then if we didn't find either of those, then we started hunting for small animals, because we as a race, human race, is a loving race. It doesn't like to kill unless required, unless survival is at stake. And the only way to cook that was with water and fire. So I started thinking, the engineering mind that I was, saying that what if I start having this natural food? I got to simplify my processes of the body in such a way that maximum energy is derived and minimum is spent. I stopped taking tea. I said, if I'm going to purify my body, give the right purified inputs, solid, liquids, and air, then my liquid has to be only water. Because if I started imagining myself staying in a cave, and my inputs have to be what I would be available to a caveman. The third thing was, while I was reading, I realized that cancer cells do not survive in high oxygenated situations. My grandfather used to do this yogic exercise called the pranayama, which is a set of breathing exercises which helps you oxygenate the body. Now with the inputs getting fixed, then I started thinking, okay, you know what? I was the one who created this situation by my wrong lifestyle, and I was fixing it with the right one. I had this 25 missed calls on my phone. Somebody from the doctor's office said, Mr. Khatal, we've been trying to call you. Your tumor sizes have reduced drastically, and it's unbelievable. Even your cancer markers have been halved. Something I was doing seems to be working. The doctor was very confused initially, and I started explaining my diet to her, and she said, no, that's fine. But what else are you doing? And I started telling her about the yoga and the pranayams that I was doing. And that's fine, but what else are you doing? Are you taking any herbs, any medication? And I said, no, all I'm doing is my diet and the pranayams and the yoga. You talk to a naturopath, he says, if you're going to the conventional way, you can't be coming to me. If you go to the conventional doctor, he says, I don't care what natural things you take. The answer lies in between, and I was doing both of them at the same time. I was in the train actually. I'd given my blood works, and we were waiting the CT scan results. I had already had a conversation on the CT scan results, and everything was fine. The blood works was still expected, and my doctor said that once she gets that, then she's going to kind of, look at it, and then she'll give me a call back. And I started talking on the phone, and my doctor said that, Mr. Khatal, I have great news for you. We just got your results back. Everything seems perfect. There are no traces of cancer that I can see. So I asked her, does that mean that I'm in remission? She says, yes, but I can't certify you as a remission case unless unless the 5 years of remission are completed. And I just burst out crying. I was so happy. And there was this gentleman whom I'd given my seat to, and he thought I was crying because I didn't have a seat. And then I told him about it, and he was so happy. He hugged me. It was an amazing, dramatic moment. Actually, I don't even know the person, but here he was, being happy for me. So there was this fear, am I celebrating too early? It did crop up from time to time. But one thing was for sure that, whatever I was doing was working. And this was one question that kept coming to me every time I tried something new. And that was, what can I do more? What can I do? I still continue to ask that question. There are so many new things that I've discovered, in the subsequent period as well. The mind chatter that happens in your mind consumes a lot of your energy. Every breath you take, you think about 8 thoughts. Every minute you breathe around 12 to 15 breaths. Our body is a memory machine. You've seen something, the image of that has been stored. You've heard something, the voice of that has been recorded in your body. Every experience is stored in your body, right from the moment you're born to this very moment. Think about all the identities we have built from then till now. I became Praveen. I became my mom's son, my father's son, my sister's brother. I became a student when I went to school. I'm a Hindu and I'm a Christian. We think about all the identities that we've formed. And all these identities are again stored in that same memory. Having so many identities itself was a problem. At the end of the day, when I was faced with you've got only 3 months to 6 months to live, I realized none of those identities mattered. I am a nobody. I lived on this planet for 50 years, 49 years, and I'm going to die. And that's about it. All these identities that I've formed, I'm a great person, I'm a rock star, I am, a successful businessman, I am this, I am that. Those are all identities in my mind. The moment you start learning new things, you're actually pressing the genetic buttons to change your genetic expression, because every new learning is expressing a new set of genes, creating new synaptic connections in your brain. Here I was also consuming the least amount of energy in my mental process. And this was amazing, because now it was healing me my results showed that. So that I said, okay, this is wonderful, So what else can I do? There's no one silver bullet to getting you fixed. You have to try and fix everything about yourself that is potentially contributing to the disease. Start taking control of what you put in your bodies and start fixing those stressors. Keep asking yourself, what else can I do? In my case, I realized that my stressful way of living was really creating the cancer. Our gut plays an important role, and that is why the diet is important. Start some form of practice. It could be Tai Chi, it could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be pranayams. You want to do the right thing for your body without stressing it. There is still, some work that has to be done, and I think that work is really to motivate people who are going through similar experiences to know that everything is not lost. There's still a fighting chance. That book opened my eyes to 380 options that I had to try it naturally. And I don't know which of those worked. I did try quite a few of them. And I'm still trying. I'm still experimenting with myself. There's so much life. You can't give up unless it is done. I thank God every day for this amazing day, for all these amazing experiences that I get. I can't be grateful enough.